Good evening, simulation sports fans out there, and welcome to tonight's broadcast. You're here set to watch game number 2 in the series of 4 games that we have set for you in the coming 2 months or so. We are in game number 2 for the preseason of Simulation Football's Minor League Season 5. Big game tonight to see the Tacoma Grizzlies are taking on the Lincoln Rattlesnakes. Tacoma is a perennial simulation minor league football team, has been in every single of the 5 seasons so far. Lincoln, I believe, was in seasons 1 and 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, any of the listeners. Seasons 1 and 2, and they took a sort of hiatus and are back with a vengeance this season, seeing what they can do out there on the field. I'm joined in our broadcast booth by the one and only Daniel Wright. Good evening, Daniel.
Good evening, Axel, and good evening, everybody else. We're gonna see the Rattlesnakes in action, and it's gonna be great because it's gonna be my first time seeing them as well. So
Absolutely. Both you and I are a product of season 3 minor league of the SFL. And both of us, we are Grizzly brothers through and through. But we got to hand it to we got to give the due diligence to all the other teams as well. Really loving to see this community thriving and growing. Every day, every week that we see these new position claims come in has been really exciting.
oh, definitely, and it's nice to see because, of course, we're always gonna be a little biased to the Grizzlies now and again. That's gonna happen, but it's good to see other teams like last season pick it up, like the Navigators, and your team, Madison. Sorry,
Madison.
Madison. Yeah, bring it in, and Tacoma, who a lot of people had picked going to playoffs, didn't even make playoffs. So it's even though we're fans of the Grizzlies, we're still fans of the entire minor league.
Absolutely. And you mentioned like favorites, coming into the season. Last season Tacoma was and really, they came out strong and I think in the first 2 games and then seemed to hit a roadblock. That's the thing I think is even more so dynamic. Even more so is the minor league is the dynamicness of the league and the players that can come in mid-season that can come in, boost the morale, boost the potential of certain teams, or there's so much progression that happens as well for the copper players, the base level players first coming in. You're able to progress. Your primary is +5 or your secondary is +8. Those are huge jumps. So every single week they're getting bigger and better out there on that field. Which I think every single week every team is having to change their game plan to battle a completely different team out there on the field.
Oh, definitely. And we're going to see a lot of new players here tonight as well because Grizzlies, a lot of people that were on the team last season are not here this season. So we're going to see a lot of new faces, especially with the Rattlesnakes as well. So I'm excited to see how these guys play.
Yeah, as of right now, I'm feeling this game could go either way, and so it's really excited to see which one might come out on top. And to give you guys those viewers that are sort of new to the preseason games, we're mimicking or emulating these based on how the pros do their preseason games. So those preseason games, they use both teams use a very the same playbooks, both offensive and defensive playbooks. Both teams are set at a pass run ratio of 50-50. And so this isn't like any game plans being created like they would be during the regular season. This is ultimately a friendly, quote unquote friendly, a scrimmage between these two to ultimately get to see your players out on the field, have a little bit of rivalry, start some of the fires up underneath the players, and get them riled up a little bit, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. As much of a friendly game as this is, they're talking in the locker rooms and they're talking in the chat. They want their team to win, even if it's just the preseason, just to have that little edge up when it comes to actual game time.
Absolutely. So I've heard from the sound engineer that the crowd levels here, we've got them muted right now, but they said that the crowd levels here tonight are astounding. Are you ready to go down to the field for the coin toss?
I am ready to see the
Uh,
Grizzlies and the Rattlesnakes to see who prevails.
all right, sound engineer. Let's bring up the crowd noise. Okay. Yep, there it is. Wow. Let's head on down there. So tonight we've got the Lincoln Rattlesnakes battling the Tacoma Grizzlies. They are playing at the practice facility for the Tacoma Grizzlies with their hometown team, or their hometown crowd. They're here to watch in Tacoma at their practice field. We've got the coaches going over game plans with their quarterbacks. These are some of the stars for the Rattlesnakes. You might be able to see your name up there.
Yeah, and the one I see the most there is Lottie Lou. He's coming back on a two-way.
Absolutely. We saw a little right there, number 80 in the background there. That is Shane Kaufman, wide receiver. Also a two-way contract player, playing out in the pros for St. Louis.
Correct, with his brother, Mark Kaufman, as well.
Absolutely.
Who's also back with the Grizzlies.
That he is. So a little bit of, so we see Kaufman with Slider there. Rattlesnakes choose the heads side of the coin. The coin gets flipped. Let's see what Rattlesnakes win. It's their choose to receive on the kickoff. And the Grizzlies will choose to defend the south goal.
Well, we're going to get a good look at their offense coming out of the gate. So we'll see how they do. They have Lottie Lou, who's probably going to lead the charge at the wide receiver spot. And the rest of their team is pretty much unknown up to this point, right? On offense.
For the most part, Brian Murphy is coming back also, I believe, on a two-way. Possibly. I'm not sure. Either way, he was here last season. But yes, other than that, they're very fresh offense team. We've got the Tacoma Grizzlies in the blue, Rattlesnakes in the tan tonight. So we'll see our first take on Kenny Slider coming out here as quarterback. There he is, number 2.
And they got pretty good field position to start. They're already on the 33.
Yeah, traditionally, we talked about this last game. Traditionally, you're lucky if you get up around like the 23, 25. A little bit of a stall there around the line of scrimmage, but seemed to thread the needle a little bit to pick up at least 2 there.
He's lucky to get 2. He fought for those 2 yards.
That he did. Looking to be a sort of a stingy Tacoma Grizzlies defensive line with defensive tackle Stephen Fellows II and defensive end Darius Hawkins rounding out the lower side of that defensive line there. Ooh, they broke through, but I think that might have been intentional. Oh. And here we have Logan Lee breaking out, being taken down at the 34-yard line.
Well, Logan Lee, I think we see you. Second play already. Going already to Tacoma 34.
Let's take a look at this again. Like I said, it seems like the line sort of breaks down, but I think that might be intentional to sort of allow that defensive line to get further up past that line of scrimmage, so they're just too far to take advantage of any of that lack of blocking. So here we see Kenny Slider again. Goes up underneath center in a I-Pro formation. Handoff again to Logan Lee up the middle. Tries for something. Isn't there.
Nope. Just gets a line. And so far it'll be second 10. We haven't seen Kenny Slider throw the ball yet, so maybe we'll see an opportunity here.
Might be just getting his bearings a little bit. Again, this is I believe he is a transfer from another position previous to this season and played at maybe a defensive position or maybe a wide receiver position last season. Slider back to pass this time and a split back. Oh, and that line collapses and in comes a tackle. That's number 94.
94? Yeah.
Yep, Keenan Deeren, a non-user player. So again, these teams are made up of, it looks to be around 12, 13, maybe 14 right now. Actually, human players, user players. That's you. Those of you listening in. And then the rest are filled out with again AI controlled generic players that are at the base copper. That was a great throw, just a little too far, forcing the wide receiver to jump and not be able to catch that.
And it was looking promising. Looked like if he had to get a chance to get the ball, he was in for the end zone. Just easy. Yeah,
the cornerback for the Tacoma just seemed to not quite realize that they were going to be running straight past him.
Unfortunately, that sack put him at all hopes of a field goal range, so they'll have to punt the ball now.
That punt comes from their own 45, where the punter awaits anyways. It's off. Let's see if they can. Oh, fair catch is called at the 14, and that is where the Tacoma offense will be taking over.
With one of my favorite names in the world for a quarterback, Baron Guthbert.
Yeah, especially for the Tacoma Grizzlies. I wonder if they sort of assumed or knew where they might be going.
Such a fitting name. Such a fitting name for this organization.
Absolutely. So we see Bear there underneath center in a split pro formation there. Drops back to pass, tosses over the middle, complete for about 12 yards. That was a really nice, solid first play, setting the tone early. Tell me about this wide receiver there.
There's nothing to talk about this guy. He's been in the pros. He's done all right. He had a tremendous game, Shane Kaufman, against Tulsa, St. Louis versus Tulsa a few weeks ago. This man is already pro ready. You'll see him do wonders in the minors, but he's already set for the pro level, and he's playing well in the pro level.
You see a handoff. The running back this year for Tacoma, this season, is J.B. Elliott, a new face taking over for Brad Jones, which ended up getting drafted to, I believe, Houston in the last draft, end of December.
That would be correct. He is now part of the Houston organization as part of one of the 4 horsemen that got picked up.
So we see an offset I spread formation. This one off to the side. Ooh, that was... Yeah, he had his legs churning there. That was a fun run to watch. Wowzers.
He got the high knees going, trying to get as fast as he can.
That he did. He looked like he was showboating a little bit. Hi. He was... Wow. I don't think I've honestly ever seen that. Wow. That is fun. But he picked up a solid maybe 20 yards on that play. And
hey, if it works, you keep it up, right?
And tackled in Lincoln territory. Pretty solid offensive line here. Single back, hand off to the running back, J.B. Elliott again for a pickup of 5. Pretty decent run there.
Yeah, that was a good run. He tried to do a spin move. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to connect with it fully. But 5 yards is good for a first down.
And looking at him,
is wide open.
Looking at him, if I remember, I was building this roster for this game tonight, yesterday and earlier today. And if I remember correctly, the running back is only 5'9", I want to say. So he's a pretty sprightly little guy out there taking this ball and pushing. There he picking up 2 yards on that run.
Well, that would explain his high knees to try and see where the defenders are.
So alongside Bear and JB, who we've already talked about, JB is running behind left guard Frank Burks, one of the rare offensive linemen in the minor league right now. Alongside him, usually lines up tight end Christopher Dean, also on a 2-way in the pros. Nice pass and catch there. And we already mentioned number 80. There he is, Shane Kaufman, wide receiver number 1, that first option for Bear. And then the second option is number 17, T. DeQueen, out there as well. This is her first season in the minor leagues.
Yeah, it looks like I think Bear still hasn't thrown an incompletion on this drive, so he's got good rhythm going.
He seems to. Like, they seem to have a connection, Shane, and I guess maybe any quarterback he's playing with.
Anyone he plays with, there's a good connection.
Here we see a split back twins formation. This time, J.B. Elliott not able to get much going there. Tackled by number 55, Sabo Kanan, outside linebacker for the Rattlesnakes.
Yep, now it's 2nd and 10 on the 28 of Lincoln. So let's see what they can do off this.
For the Rattlesnakes, defensive tackle Michael Rury, number 75, and defensive end Kratos Maximus, number 99, sort of anchoring that defensive line for the Rattlesnakes. Again, acting fairly stingy along with the inside linebacker Matthias Citrian out there, might have been involved there with that tackle. They also have a slew, the Rattlesnakes have a slew of defensive backs, 6 in total, 2 cornerbacks, Diedrich Law and Frankie Lynn Custer, who just recently joined the league. I believe alongside her father, who is the free safety strong safety out there, Frankie Custer, who will also be doing the kick return and punt return duties. Free safety Rick Evans, free safety Nico Vasquez, as well as strong safety Luke Swift. Here we see a bunch formation by the wide receivers, and again, Shane Kaufman able to get out there, get that ball in his hands, and make that way up the field.
It looked dangerous when he veered through it. He threw it while under pressure, but Shane with those sure hands of his was able to make the catch and get a decent gain and a first down. Now looking at 1st and goal.
Dougie sharing a little bit of news for the quarterback Dedrick Law that he just recently today signed with the Houston Hyenas.
Speaking of first-year wide receivers, Tina Queen gets her first touchdown.
That is amazing. Let's see a replay of that here. Looks like a nice out route with nobody was just simply covering her. They maybe didn't respect what her skills were out there. Congrats. So this quickly puts up Tacoma by 6, almost 7 here. We'll see the kicker go for the points after the touchdown. And it's up and good. So with 4 minutes left in the first quarter, we have a 0-7 ball game with Lincoln looking to get the ball back and try to even things up here.
Yeah, and we're seeing a much different game than we did a couple of weeks ago, where it was more a defensive battle. Both these teams had really good drives on the first drive. Lincoln was very close to being in field goal range. A sack kind of put all hope away, but both drives looked really good.
So the kick is up, coming down for Frankie Custer to return the ball. And again, a pretty decent return there, coming out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, once more, like you said, you want to have that 30-yard or more, and this is a very good field position to start with.
Let's see if they'll decide to run or pass here. Logan Lee already averaging 11 yards per carry on only 3 carries. Here we see looks like a split spread gun formation. Little handoff. Pretty rare to see in the pros with a gun run like that, but he picks up 4 yards on the play. Pretty impressive.
Like he could have got more if he went on the outside. He kind of tried to spin back inside the blockers.
As you progress, you get a little bit better. You make better decisions. This is exactly, this kind of thing. You're going to learn and grow from this game. Every single player out there. We see drop back over the middle. Complete. Brings it over the midline of the field. He's getting hyped up. That is Lottie Liu, a wide receiver for the Rattlesnakes.
And also, I believe you know more about Lottie Liu than I do because he plays currently on the San Diego Mavericks.
That he does. He's a great locker room presence, a great guy, very hungry to get into coaching. I believe he is working under head coach for the Rattlesnakes, Mike All, will be doing the defensive coordinating for the team once the season starts. We see slider again under center, I formation pro set for the wide receivers. Back to throw, short little drop back, pass behind the line of scrimmage, and lucky Logan Lee gets it back up to that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they gave him back to the line of scrimmage. It was really good because that looked like it was a broken play. He had no one else to throw to. And he was able to fight for the yards back to at least to get the 2nd and 10.
I saw number 27, Mark Kaufman, giving a little gruff to Logan as he was getting up. Slider back to throw again. Similar type of play. Just not able to get Pat, this time losing 2 yards on that play. This time Orlando Grimm returning free safety.
Yeah, this will be his 2nd season in the minor leagues.
That's right. He had a pretty successful season last season as a first season prospect. We see a gun straight package, slider moving around in the pocket. Gets it out of his hands just barely. We'll see what they call here.
There is a penalty on the flag. This could be a penalty on the play, not on the flag. But, you know, he threw the flag. How about that? I think it might be roughing the passer.
Illegal touch. It must have been thrown and hit one of the offensive linemen. Ineligible person, possibly down the field kind of thing.
Sorry, Rattlesnakes. I was trying to give you one.
So here we'll the Rattlesnakes defense. I'm sorry, the Grizzlies defense coming in clutch right now, right there with the pushback. Maybe a poor choice of offensive plays by the Rattlesnakes, forcing them to punt. Punt is up. Fair catch called for, and they'll take over at the 17. So we had just seen. We talked about Mark Kaufman on as a cornerback, brother of wide receiver Shane Kaufman, also on the Grizzlies. Angel Maldonado fills out that cornerback spot for the Grizzlies as well. I'm excited to see what they're able to do. But here we see Bear under center again. Handoff to JB Elliott. Picking up 6 on the play.
So far, he's been running well. Only 39 yards, but he's averaging, what was that, 5.9 yards a play?
Which is plenty. You know, if you think about 2 runs and you're already at a first down, I mean, that's gold territory. That's perfect gold territory for a running back inside of a offensive game plan. Here we see Twins on the right with the split back behind him. Bear hands off again. Not much looking there. I think he picks up half a yard to edge that 3 left on this 3rd down.
And there you see the little guy again hit around, but if you can't see him, I think that's where he's going to pick up most of the yards if he sneaks behind the blockers, which he's been doing pretty well.
Similar split back pro set for the wide receivers. We'll see what they decide to do. Another handoff. Tries to go to the left side, and nothing working there. A loss of 3 on that play.
And they only got to the 21, so the Rattlesnakes should be in good field position after this punt.
We just saw Dedrick Law taking him down there. Nearly in the end zone is their punter, 5 yards out. We'll see how far they can punt it. And it's away. Catches it around the 38 and keeps running. Picks up about another 10, which is sort of unusual, you know, breaking some tackles there. Again, this is Frankie Custer taking that down. It looked like he was boosting some of his break tackle ability in his build, probably specifically for that returning role.
Yep, and like we thought, the Rattlesnakes are in good field position. 2 first down, then they're probably looking at potentially getting close to the field goal.
A little run here. Oh, a spin move pretty early. I think spells failure there for the running back Logan Lee. Losing 1 on the yard.
That was number 22, the strong safety, Tigga Clay, with the shot.
That it was. Again, seeing all these new players is really exciting. Seeing how they're going to progress. That calls the end of the first quarter. The score still 0-7 that we saw 4 minutes ago. We'll see if Lincoln can continue this drive. Here we see an offset eye with a spread formation by the wide receivers. Slider under center, hands off to Lee. Tries to run it, running hard. Picks up 4 on the play.
Now we're looking at a critical 3rd down, 3rd and 7. Need to move those chains to keep going with this good field position. You don't want to lose it now.
To answer Cliff Allen's chat question, I think a nice solid cream ale would be great with a Twinkie. Nice pass over the middle, just over the line, and able to sort of fall forward for an additional 2 yards or so. Nice.
Looks like the catch was made over the middle as the guy was doing the formation change, sliding right into the pocket. So it was a good play, good call.
Yeah, I was going to say a good field presence to be able to know where that line is, even though we see the blue and yellow lines. They don't. They just see the green turf. Back to pass, slings it over to the side. A little sliding catch, sort of lost their footing on the turf. Number 46, I believe that is a backup tight end, perhaps.
I know. Looks like and don't worry, he's been taken care of.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
That was Mark Kaufman there on the play for the Grizzlies. An important 3rd and 4. They are currently at the 33-yard line, which is probably just at that cusp of distance. Logan Lee, the running back there, was trying as hard as he could. As soon as they knew it was a run, swarmed. That is, sorry, I'm like thinking of bees, but I did not get the word swarm out. So they're forced to punt. It is caught and returned for about 2 yards and tackled pretty heavily there on the 15.
Strangely enough, he did not call for a fair catch on that one.
Yeah, usually within like that 10 or 15 yard line. But again, these are we have a handoff tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Both deep. One would say this is a bit more like a position battle because Rattlesnakes want to keep him here to keep getting the good field position, hopefully to make a play off it.
Single back, Bear back to throw, completed pass over the middle to a wide open Kaufman. Takes it, looked like a one-handed grab there out of the air, showing off his ability.
He didn't need the one hand. He's just trying to show off.
He's been squeezing tennis ball up there. So that brings them up to their own 35-yard line, outside of the shadow of the goalpost. Let's see if they can convert here in this next set of downs. They line up in an pro form for the wide receivers. Bear making a little change here on the running to the right side. Little spin move, but only able to get 4 yards on that play.
Yeah, that play looked promising. The blockers looked like they had people that came out
and flex run up in the middle, successful. A little spin move and a pickup of around 12 yards, 11 or 12 yards on that one for the little guy, number 20, JB Elliott.
I'm telling you right now, I'm becoming a fan of this little man. He is fun to watch. Look at this spin move.
And he's still, even with a larger, defensive back going head to head with him, he's still a little pushing. Bear in the back. This time it's broken up by the defensive number 32.
Yeah, there seems to be a little bit of drop frames on your side. It's not too bad, though. Some people are saying they're reporting a little lag out there on the field.
Yep, I'm seeing some drop frames in my Twitch stream thing. Apologize, folks. Doing the best we can with what we've got. Some 5G broadband connection here for you. Back to pass, allowing his receivers to get open. Bear takes his time, doesn't seem fazed by that, and passes over the middle for a completion and a moving the chains as well.
They seem to be doing on both sides, the throwing game and the running game right now. So, and Bear is still continuing to make those completions when he needs to.
Here we see three wide receivers, two at the top, one at the bottom, offset backs, run up the middle. Again, not much going there. Able to get a little forward progress for one is what it might have looked like, but not too much there. Stopped by number 94.
Look at that 2nd and 9 on the 32.
Got Shane at the bottom and T at the top. Pass over. Big hit there by Shane to pick up that first down against number 29, Diedrich Law, who's covering pretty decently, but Shane's just able to bump him just a little bit further to get that extra yard.
Yeah, he wasn't happy to go to a 3rd down. He wanted to make sure he got to the 1st yard marker.
Go an I formation. Single wide receiver at the top. Two behind Bear, the quarterback. Hand up. Running up the middle. Off to the side a little bit. Bouncing out. Able to pick up 2 yards there. Averaging 3.9 yards per carry. I've got the old rabbit ears. I've got some tinfoil on my head. We'll just see what works. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. We've got an offset eye, tight end at the top of the screen. So this would be a weak eye. Pass over to the right side for T. DeQueen is pushed out of bounds after a pickup of 8 yards on that play. Having a little conversation there with Frankie Lynn Custer.
We'll look at 3rd and 2 on the 14. If they get this 1st down, they're looking at potential of another red zone visit, or end zone visit as well, I should say.
They're already in that red zone there. Yep. I form, a little pass coming. Deflection there by number 30, Frankie Lynn Custer was in there following probably, I bet that T. DeQueen was on a inside route underneath there. And so we've got some Frankie Lynn on T. DeQueen action, cornerback versus wide receiver. They're going to see if they can go for it on the 4th and 2. I formation.
Just seeing if the defense can. I think they were seeing if defense would actually make a move on that.
Yep. Called a timeout at the very end there. There we see Jalen Wells, head coach of the Grizzlies. Also the halfback for the San Diego Mavericks in the pros. Having a conversation, a lively conversation with Bear there on the sideline. Probably awaiting their field goal kicker to kick a field goal. And the kick is up. And it's good. That gives Tacoma a 10-0 lead now. As we're head into 4 minutes left remaining in this half.
We'll see if the Rattlesnakes can actually make a move now as we're getting closer and closer to the end of the half. Only 4 minutes left, like you were saying.
That's right. And we've got Cliff Allen in the chat. Cliff is a kicker for the Arizona Scorpions. Swole says kickers matter. Kicker fraternity, definitely. Right now, I believe with the 8 teams in the minor leagues, only I think 3 of them have kickers right now. So that is a great position. If you know anybody who wants to come in and join the league, kicker is a great place to be. Again, we saw Frankie Custer there on the kick return, getting out to the 35-yard line. We'll see Kenny Slider under center here. Pro formation with the I form behind him. Hand off to Logan Lee up the middle, spins to the right. Able to pick up 8 yards on that play. Seeming to pick up a little bit more speed as the half closes. Logan's looking pretty good out there tonight.
Both running backs are looking very good, and I'm very impressed to see how they progress because this is like our first little look at them. So there's still plenty of season to go and plenty of time to get your progressions in. So I want to see what they are when they get to the halfway point and then closer to playoffs.
Absolutely. And, both when you and I were in the minor league in season 3, as well as last season in season 4, we were kind of, the big thing was the 4 horsemen, the 4 very large gold running backs last season out there. So it's great seeing this fresh new lineup of early progressed running backs out there. So really excited to see that. Hey, Matthias, welcome in. We see Kenny Slider under center, lone back behind him. Spread formation. Pass is imminent, going over there. Ends up to picking up that first down. That is a solid catch and I guess run and hit being taken there by tight end Brian Murphy.
Yeah, he did just enough to get the first down, and it was a critical first down, too, to keep the clock moving, keep the chains going, and give them a chance to get some points before the half's over.
We're going to see a twins formation with a single back. Dropping back to pass. Passes over to the right side. Complete for number 11, Ricky Tullish, new wide receiver for the Rattlesnakes. We haven't really mentioned his name yet, but he is the counterpart to Lottie Lou out there as well. Another target for Kenny Slider out there.
Yeah, now we're looking at 2nd and 6 on the 49. Clock is still running.
We've got a pretty heavy set there on the O-line. Pass to the right side again. Nice fun run there by number 21, Logan Lee. Got those high knees going.
And that might be the last play before the 2-minute warning. And it looks like it's going to be.
Ticking down. We've got 44 yards there on 12 carries for Logan so far, averaging 3.7 yards per carry. Welcome, Chad McDevitt, to the chat. Great to see you here. Thanks for joining us tonight. Kenny Slider back to pass. Packet collapses on him. And we see number 72, Darius Hawkins, come in and swishes that ball there, taking down Kenny Slider.
Yeah, the pocket just collapsed on him. He looked like he saw pressure coming. He moved upwards and then just couldn't get it out in time.
Yeah, it looked like Stephen Fellows II, the defensive tackle, really had a big push there, which sort of threw the blocking down, really collapsed there. Almost had a catch, very risky, but knocked away with the defensive outside linebacker there, Marcelo, coming in and hitting that ball out of the hands. That was rude.
Now we're looking at a bit of the struggles of the Rattlesnakes once again. They're moving the ball well, but as soon as they get past midfield, they seem to be struggling to get any type of momentum going.
Here we see a quad look from a gun package. Back to throw a slider over the middle. That looks like it could have been there if he would have been able to thread the ball through the defender's arms, but number 57, Chad McDevitt, there to knock it down, deflect that pass.
Hey, Chad, you came in, you got deflection. How about that?
Congrats. Woo! So they're forced to punt there right at midfield with a minute and a half left in this half. Kick is up and away and returns up to the 25-yard line there. Not too much going on, but that's typical of punt returns. We have the third wide receiver.
Know about this, Axel. They only have 2 timeouts for this one. They used one earlier for that field goal.
That's true. So we'll see if they, again, clock management is a little funky. So we'll see what they do here. How they handle this. Got a split back formation with the Twins wide receivers set at the top. Bear under center. Back hands off to fumble. Who has recovered it? It looks like Lincoln has recovered it after that fumble by JB Elliott, trying to go up the middle and just gets knocked out by the tackle. Nope. Just comes into a wall and gets taken down by number 52.
And it looks like it might have been 55 who recovered the ball.
Okay. That would be outside linebacker Sabo Kanan.
Well, this is a momentum swing if I ever saw one.
That is. This is exactly what the Rattlesnakes need. Slider out to pass. A little swing pass. Not working much there. They didn't see much. They saw even less yardage on previous drive when they were trying to use that. Back to pass. Over to the right side this time. Completed. Tried to spin to break away a little bit. Was number 11, Lottie Liu. I'm sorry, Ricky Tullish on that side. Lottie's at the top there. Back to pass. Over the middle. Big tight end, it looks like.
And
number 46.
Move. They continue to move now. They still have 3 timeouts, so they can still take a little bit of risk here.
Ooh, that was probably not a bad thing. A little deflection there by number 27. Why am I blanking? Number 27.
Mark Hoffman?
Thank you. Yes, Mark. I'm like, where is he? Where is he on my sheet? Don't
worry, I got him. I got him up here.
Perfect. Appreciate that. Lone back behind Slider. Drops back, deep back. Pass over to the the running back. Makes his way up and he's able to pick up 2 yards after just simply catching 3 yards up to the line of scrimmage. We'll see what they can do here. 30 seconds left in this half.
It wasn't too bad a play. They had a timeout that they could spend, but now 3rd and 8 on the 9. Really looking to get to the end zone here.
This is like their one chance. I mean, there's slim chance that they get tackled at that 1 foot line. That is a nice little play there. Exactly what they needed to get in that end zone with 26 seconds left. That was number 17, Lottie Liu, on that reception from Slider.
And just like that, we have almost a brand new ball game. Rattlesnakes got the momentum, ending off the half.
So we'll see the kicker go for the point after here. And the point after is good, making it a 7-10 ball game. 3 points separating these two teams right now. Really, with how the game can go, the second half typically picks up when they've got a lot more to lose when it gets closer and closer to that end. So I'm excited to see what the second half will bring.
Yeah, this is got all the makings of another good game, another classic like we had a couple of weeks ago.
Absolutely.
Which only ended by 2 points, a failed 2-point conversion at the end.
The kick return comes up and brings it up to the 29-yard line, giving them some forward progress there. And that is where the Grizzlies will see what they can do with 21 seconds left. We've seen some pretty solid movement of the ball here by the Grizzlies previously, pretty much in the first quarter, not as much in the second. We'll see if they can sort of rekindle what they had going earlier here, or maybe they'll just simply happy to run the clock out and go into the halftime. Little quick guy, loss of one on the run there, trying to find an opening to slide through. The tackle there made by 29 Diedrich Law, cornerback for the Rattlesnakes.
Yeah, I don't mind that play. Tacoma had a fumble in the previous possession, so I like the fact that they're taking the lead going into halftime here. Try and regroup after that fumble.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. How many beers do you get? Let's see. Uh let's see however many points the Rattlesnakes earn at the end of the game. That's how many. Maybe it'll be a case. I hope it's more than. Well, you've already hit a six packs. So, all right. So we were seeing some stats here rolling through, but instead of focusing on that, let's actually bring in. We have a special guest here in the booth with us. We have the one and only Mike All, who is the head coach for the Lincoln Rattlesnakes. Good evening, Mike. How are you?
Hey, Axel, thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Pleasure having you. So what is it like having the Rattlesnakes? What is this so far this off season been like for you all?
Well, it's been exciting because the Rattlesnakes, Lincoln is my alma mater from when I was in the minor leagues.
Ah,
So I'm super excited to have them back in the minors. And my team is growing by leaps and bounds, and I'm excited to see what they all do on the field this coming season. Um, it's had its sad points though. I started out with the most returning players
hmm.
on the team. Lost two to missed progressions, and one of my players just got signed up to the big leagues.
I saw that Diedrich Laws coming over to Houston, was it?
Yes, sir.
That's exciting. As I'm sure, as much as you hate to lose them, I mean that's exactly what they're looking to do is make that impact in the pros, obviously. So
Yeah, and I hope he does well with them. I hope he really enjoys his time in there.
that's good. Um, Looking ahead, to the start of the season, which should be end of April, I believe. Are there any certain teams that you're looking forward to battling against? Ones that you're maybe fearful of, or the ones that you think you're the most uncertain about?
Well, it's always nice to face old rivals, and certainly going up against Albuquerque will be a lot of fun. I'd like to lay it to Swole once or twice, So
That does sound like a good a fun time, I guess. Daniel and I coming from season 3, they had, oh my goodness, we're seeing the
Keep
Grizzlies
talking. Mike doesn't want to see this. Keep talking.
like, caught before he gets into the end zone. But yeah, both Daniel and I coming from season 3, uh, uh, Brown. Why am I thinking? Why am I blanking on his first name? Tulsa's running back, Brown.
Douglas Brown.
Douglas
Doug
Brown.
Brown?
I kept wanting to say David, and I'm like, no, that's not it. But yeah, we had Doug Brown. Was one of our big nemesis with Adam. So I sort of feel you there with having the Swole coming and trying to lay the smackdown on him.
Yeah.
So uh,
I'm excited though. It's nice to see the. I mean, thanks for doing these preseason games. It's nice to see the Rattlesnakes on the field again. It's been such a long time.
so were they in season 1 or season 2 or both?
Season one,
Just
and
season 1. Okay,
yeah. So the Rattlesnakes. Let me give you some history. The
absolutely.
Rattlesnakes were originally under head coach Jose Fuentes, which at the time he was a linebacker for Sioux Falls. He's now currently a linebacker for Denver. Um, we had a really good team, but we had one of those situations where we had multiple quarterbacks. So we had Brian Dynasty and JQ both on our team, so they would take turns each week.
Hmm.
Uh, so it did kind of disrupt their rhythms to not be able to play every week. Um, but we had a solid team. We had Brian Dynasty and Chris Porter were our offensive and defensive coordinators respectively, and they both did a real good job. They worked hard, coming from being rookies and doing those big jobs right away.
Yeah. It sounds,
Um,
hearing talking with Lottie Lou, he'll be doing defense there with the Rattlesnakes. Is that right?
yeah, I knew he wanted to be a coach going forward, and I was happy to bring him in to be our defensive coordinator for us and let him get that much needed experience so that he can continue to grow in the league. And it's always nice to bring back people to their alma mater, even though it's technically not Salt Lake, but we're Salt Lake from last season. So yeah.
That makes sense. And who do you have doing offense for you guys this season?
So we still have most of the same coaching staff.
Okay.
Tyler Falk will
Oh,
will
yes.
continue doing the offensive coordinator duties. And he's going to do a really good job for us this season, especially with the talent that he's got around us now.
Mhm. That's exciting. I just can't wait. Chopping at the bit. That's one reason why I'm doing these different games too is because I personally don't even want to wait until the minor league starts back up again. So this is sort of a personal thing, and the byproduct is that you all get to watch me sim these. So, um, well, thanks so much, Mike, for joining us tonight, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the game.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's been fun to watch, and nice to listen to you and Daniel on the call.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Have a good one, Mike.
You too.
So we just saw the Tacoma Grizzlies get a field goal there. And now just simply returned by Frankie Custer there up into the Lincoln 26, where they'll start their drive.
Yeah, what could have been a very dangerous possession? They were able to contain it within 3. I'm sure Mike will not review the footage of what happened, and we'll just continue on here right now.
Yeah, a little round of applause for the defense there to hold them tight to only 3 points. Nice little pass out to the left there to Lottie Lou, but only picking up 3 yards. That momentum carrying him out of bounds there.
Yeah, so they kind of took a little smack to the mouth, but if you looked at the end of the first half, they had all the momentum. I think they know how to go through some adversity now and make it another good game. I think they're going to move the ball, hopefully, on this possession.
And really, they're only 6 points away. 1 touchdown, they would be in the lead. Nice little one-handed grab there by Brian Murphy, I believe that was, the tight end. Yep.
Yeah, it seems like everyone wants to do the one-handed catch today.
They've been showing off, maybe juggling a little bit or something in the off season. Perfect distance too, just to pick up that first down. They're now at the 38-yard line. I formation, 1 lone wide receiver at the top there. We'll see if they hand off. They do hand off. Logan Lee running, finds a little gap, and is off to the races. First tackler couldn't take him down, but number 57, Chad McDevitt, does eventually take him out.
Yeah, Chad was running hard to keep up and was able to at least come in to help with the tackles that stopped him from getting down there to even further, maybe to the end zone itself. Right now, it's around the 32 of Tacoma. And I just want to bring up a point, and this is a very good point. Lai Lu was in the minor leagues last season, his first season. He's already been a defensive coordinator for the Rattlesnakes. So if you guys want to do more here in the SFL or the minor leagues, all you have to do is talk to people and get yourself out there.
Absolutely. There's a lot of opportunities out there, just like you said. It's just raising your hand, making a, squeaky wheel gets the oil kind of thing. Let people know. Share what you're interested in. Share that passion, that hunger. A lot of us share that same passion and hunger, and we're doing these things. I didn't know how to stream, yet here I am streaming, 5 months after starting the stream that I did last September. Little toss off to the right to Lee, but a loss of 2.5 on that play.
Yeah, and who knew that I was going to be part of the draft coming up, last season. That was fun. Never thought I'd ever do that. Great experience.
You did great.
Again in the future.
You did great. You held in there. That was the long day, if I remember right. You guys were doing.
My God, that was about 4 hours. Yeah, that was
something like that. Yeah, but I'm sure very rewarding being able to see a lot of these players and talking. Through last year with what we did with the show and things, we get to know a lot about these players, which we hope to do more of. That was another great run there by Lee, sort of moving around the blocking and following his blockers just like an expert. It's great seeing the expertise. This is exactly what you are progressing every single week in, week out to be able to do. So here you see him here sort of making those small adjustments, sort of getting every single twitch and twerk that he does gets another foot on that run.
Yeah, and this time he chose the right way to go inside the block to make sure you get a few extra yards when he could.
We have the offset I spread formation by the receivers. Back handoff to Lee again. Able to get up to 4 on that play, averaging 5.5 yards per carry is really, really good at this stage of progression. So it's really exciting to see.
Yeah, and you have to imagine that big run is really what helped get that average up. But even saying that, those small yards do take into account after a while, and he's been running good now this second half.
Yep, they're picking up another 2 or so. Now a more manageable 3rd and 4. Now those quick outs that roughly are anywhere from 4 to 6 yards for the wide receivers. Those are going to be just enough to be able to get that first down. The cornerbacks coming up maybe to play some bump coverage there. Pass over to the side, completed, and falls in for that touchdown. Is turn a little bit. Let's see that number 86. That is the tight end Brian Murphy for that touchdown. Right now it's a tie game with the point after coming up.
So Mike must have a good talk with him at halftime because they figured out the Grizzlies defense and they're just moving the ball cleanly now.
This drive has looked very, very good with the nice solid drives. And even if like you said, those 2 yards, 3 yards do count and they do help. They give you 3-4 downs per moving of the chains, per first down or whatever, for a reason. Like they give you a couple attempts, so might as well take advantage of that and make it a shorter field. Point
And
after.
not only that, they have to play defense on the run, so you can always switch it up with the pass, and they have to play 50-50 on those runs all the time.
So with that little pooch through the uprights gives Lincoln the lead now. They're first of the evening with 5.5 left in the third. About to kick off back over to Grizzlies.
Now for Mike's heart rate, I would hope they can contain the run back on this one because we can't talk to him to get him to not see what's going on.
There we go. The Grizzlies, a returner there, was able to make a little bit more progress than what we'd traditionally see. A lot less than he did last time. Ended up being tackled at the 35, and that's where they're going to start this drive. We see Shane Kaufman out there to the top. T to Queen at the bottom. One lone running back behind Bear. Drops back, short drop back, looking for an open man. Throw is complete for a gain of 4. Looks like it's T to Queen up in the middle there. Getting those hits, but not being able to hold on to that ball. That's hugely important.
Oh, definitely. And we just saw the comparison in quarterbacks, and they're both playing pretty even right now. Slider's up with a touchdown, but Bear has more yards, so it's pretty much even slate with these two.
Bear making adjustments there on the line. Handoff to JB Elliott, able to pick up just a couple with 3rd down and 3 left. Makes it, again, very manageable. We'll see if they decide to run it again with Elliott or maybe do a short pass.
Yeah, 3rd and 3 on the 42. The playbook's pretty wide open here.
Got a pro set by the receivers. Eye for the backs. Back to pass over the middle. Complete. It's number 24. I believe that is the non-user player, fullback, I want to say. Yep. Doing just a little seam route up the middle, showing off their hands. I believe that's Bubba Boston, fullback.
Let's go. Yeah, last season it would have been Ettore Hondo, but he is now part of the Carolina organization.
Yep, Carolina Skyhawks. Yep, I believe he is the offensive coordinator there. We're playing a large, heavy role of the offense there. Little stop and go at the line, able to pick up a couple feet. They'll round up to 1 yard. There, that number 55, Sabo Kanan, on the stop. Looking mighty tough. He's poised for the next one. Like, bring it at me, bro. Making adjustments on the line, Bear. Again, we got the pro formation by the receivers. Little toss to the back. Going nowhere. Losing 1 yard there. Number 52 on the stop.
Looks like a generic player, if I would have to hazard a guess.
Yep, correct.
3rd and 10 on the 41. If Lincoln can stop them here, you make sure they're out of field goal range and they have to punt the ball.
This is a similar bunch formation that we saw Kaufman collect before. Nice pass over the middle. The ball got to him just before the defense was there to stop him. He was able to follow that into his hands. 3rd or 4th. I want to say that is the 4th wide receiver for the Grizzlies. Welcome to the stream, General Cornwall. That is Zach Holdorf, who's the new defensive coordinator for the Grizzlies. Nice little run up the middle there by JB Elliott. Not doing too bad. The average he's looking good, but I think there's been some recently this half specifically, or late last half, that just weren't going anywhere. He's had some really nice runs, but also some that were a little iffy. But again, that's exactly what the progression is for.
Yeah, all we need to see is those high knees in action again, and I'm sure he'll get back on track.
Yep. Little toss to the side, able to find a gap. He's able to break some tackles, able to get around, I'd say 11 yards on that carry. That was, we were just talking, what is it, the broadcaster's curse? You say something, and then the very next play, the opposite happens. So exciting to see, I'm excited to see each and every one of these players do well. And so far, I have not been disappointed by any of them. They have been doing exactly what their role demands, if not exceeding expectations right now.
Oh, definitely. And it's becoming a good game. We got 1st and goal on 6. Tacoma's looking to try and take the lead back again, but stuffed right up the middle this time.
Number 94, Matthias Citrian. On the stop there, getting in the way of JB Elliott on his run, right up the middle. We see another pro formation, one at the top, one at the bottom for the receivers. Single back, drops back to pass, Bear over the middle, into coverage, and not able to pull down the ball.
Well, that could have been picked. That was looking very sketchy for a second. There's a whole bunch of Rattlesnakes defenders in the area.
Bear trying to complete to tight end Christopher Dean out there. He's been the tight end, was there last season for them, returning this year, I believe on a 2-way. I'm not sure which team exact. He might be on the DC Dragons, perhaps.
I think he's also on St. Louis. I think St.
Oh.
Louis took the Tacoma farm.
Gotcha. Because I know both Mark and Shane. But there we see T to Queen in for her 2nd, count that, number 2 touchdown of the evening. She's becoming a clutch. T to clutch is what they'll be calling her. Queen Clutch. Again, similar pass and play as the previous touchdown, it looked like. Nice little quick out to the right. Coverage just wasn't there for her she able to just follow that ball into her soft hands and turn up the field for that extra 1, cut the corner of the end zone for that 6. And here comes that 7th. Point after is good. Then that gives Tacoma now a 6-point lead over Lincoln, 20-14.
Yeah, Tacoma was able to answer back after the Rattlesnakes got a touchdown. So let's see if the Rattlesnakes can continue to counter-strike.
Kickoff forthcoming. And it's up. Fielded around the 10-yard line, bringing it up. Again, Frankie Custer taking it up to the 28, a gain of about 18 on that return. Sorry if you experienced a little bit of lag. You buy a gaming computer and assume the best, but sometimes both streaming to Twitch, to Discord, and running a game, too much for it. Pass off to the left here to the looked like the number 26, the fullback, I want to say.
Yeah, the game computer can do wonders, but sometimes the internet is just bad.
Very true. Appreciate you all hanging out with us tonight. Yeah, we did one of these about a week and a half ago, I want to say, the February 25th or something like that. We'll be doing another one in about 2 weeks from this Friday, the 25th as well. And then we'll be doing another one early April, the final one of the preseason. So getting all set for the regular season to start end of April. Here we see Angel Maldonado.
Say that 5 times fast.
Maldonado. Just want to make sure I get it right. Angel Maldonado. There on the breakup, not allowing number 11, Ricky Tullish, to be able to capture that ball.
Now it looked like Angel had the best look at it. Could have got a pick off it. We'll see if that comes back to bite him and get a first down for Lincoln.
We see
3rd and 7.
Slider, no backs in the backfield, off to pass. Completes it. Number 86, Brian Murphy on the reception there. Just not able to turn around. It took a step forward to be able to, get a little bit of distance between himself and the defenders, only to be able to be taken down before he gets to turn around.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. And a little thing we do here in the SFL is we ask you to put 4s in the chat and 86 in the chat once we get to the 4th quarter.
So we're starting the 4th quarter. So feel free to put your 4s up in the chat. A little thing we do to celebrate the last quarter. A lot of things, and again, as Daniel said, 86 in remembrance of a fellow SFL member who sadly passed, I believe, about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. That was his number. So in remembrance of him, a lot of times we'll put 86 in there as well. Just showing us as a community. So Tacoma will take over at the 41, their own 41. So about 60 yards to go. 59 if you're a counting person. So you see JB Elliott trying to cut that corner again, just not seeming to have luck against this, what seems to be a pretty hardy defense by the Rattlesnakes. We saw number 94, Matthias Citrian. Number 99, Kratos Maximus.
I wonder if he's a God of War fan. I think he might be.
Bear back. Ooh, speaking of strong defense, this is, I believe, the second sack by number 75, Michael Rury, getting in there. Either it might be a second of his or the second that he was involved in. I think the previous one might have been Kratos Maximus in there as well alongside him. But either way,
like Frank Burks, the left guard for Tacoma, was trying to hold him down, but just couldn't.
Tough defensive line there on that corner. Bear under center. We've got 4 wide receivers out there and 1 tight end at the top. Back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Saves the sack by getting that ball out of his hands. Last time he tried to do that, I believe it might have been a penalty by it hit offensive lineman. But that brings up 4th and a long 16. Tacoma's at their 35-yard line. Not looking great for this drive so far. They'll be forced to punt here, which should set up relatively decent field position, probably around, I want to say, the 40 of Lincoln for the Rattlesnakes. Kind of wrong. 34 was a guess. But Custer on that additional 4 yards. Every inch, every yard counts.
Yep, and now we'll have 1st and 10 on the 34, down by 6, so still a one-score game.
Logan Lee showing his stats there. The more successful of the 2 running backs tonight. Handoff, run up the gut. Nice gap there made by the offensive line, but just runs right into the linebackers of the Grizzlies who take him down. Actually, it looks like Orlando Grimm, the free safety, swings in there, seeing it was a run-in. And I have this word now, swarms on the ball.
And that will be the new word of the day.
Heavy set there on the offensive line. Another run, this time off to the side with some blockers in front, a little spin. And he's on the way. Brings it up to the 33-yard line.
Looks like number 22 was able to make the tackle before he broke loose all the way.
That was the strong safety, Tyga Clay. Strong running there by Logan Lee. Giving them really nice, really nice setup for getting closer and closer to that red zone.
And you can see some people are taking notes on the running game as we are playing right now.
Looked like that might have been a slight counter. Looked like he was going to go towards the bottom, his right side of the offensive line, only to switch to the left a little bit. Not much going there in that run. But yeah, that outside one seems to be working for a lot of both sides, really. It's just that middle is really a pounding with the linebackers and the solid D line. Handoff again up the middle. Linebackers just flying right through. There's number 57, it looks like. Chad McDevitt on that what could have been a loss of yards, but really might have been a loss of an inch or two, but solid big hit there.
Yep,
We've got four wide receivers and a quad package out there. One lone running back to pass, steps up, passes over. That could have been a little bit of a pick there. Thankfully, it was a linebacker covering, but stalled out.
Yeah, we're going to take notes here all as well. Logan Lee, good at running the ball. Missed that catch, though. That could have been a first down.
But at the 33-yard line, this would have set up a 50-yard field goal. For a non-user kicker, it's a little much. So they are opting to punt and hopefully pin the Grizzlies deep in their own side of the field. It'll land and roll and stops right at the goal line. That, I don't know if that was skill or luck for number 8, but it worked out in Lincoln's favor there and to the detriment of the Grizzlies.
Great punt. And now we could be looking at a potential safety in this game if we've just seen all the defensive backs or defensive line and how well they've been doing.
Handoff, run up the middle, a pickup of 3 on that play. You saw the defense was fairly spread out there. It looked like they were in a nickel package, only 2 linebackers in there behind the 4 defensive linemen, which really set up, the run was the right call there, and seeing that defensive formation. Here we see the 4-3 formation, sort of expecting the run, I think, because of those extra tight ends out there. The handoff to JB Elliott, a little bit more productive in that one, getting him out to the 9-yard line, a pickup of 6 on that play.
And now we're looking at 3rd and 1. So the potential to move the chains, Rattlesnakes really need to stop here to get the ball back in really good field position to make maybe their final push.
I formation, one lone wide receiver at the bottom. I believe that's a Jacks formation. Nice little pass out to Shane Kaufman, Shane Kaufman, number 80. We haven't heard from him. I don't think most of this second half, most of his work was done in the first half.
Yeah, after that flashy one-handed catch, he's kind of been a little slow on making the catches. All about Tita Queen, who has been putting on a performance today.
I would agree. So he received 4 wide receivers out there, 2 of them that we just talked about. Another big catch there by Tita Queen, moving those chains. A gain of 15 on that play.
Just gotta mention the name, and there she is.
She's celebrating there, doing a little flex. In coverage too. I'm glad that the number 86 did not reach their hands up trying to catch that ball. The backup wide receivers. You would see a spread look with the lone running back in the backfield. Back to pass, short drop back over the middle, complete for a gain of 7 on that play. What is the methodically moving down the field? Number 80 there, Shane the Hands Kaufman.
And as you can see, they're chewing up clock as they continue to move as well. We're now getting close to 5 minutes left in the game.
I formation. Looks like a running play. We'll see which way. Up the gut. Finds that gap. Being a smaller person, and I believe that he's a finesse back as well. Both of these backs, I believe, just threading that. I don't even think you could thread that with a piece of yarn. That was a pretty big opening.
Yeah, new set of downs. Clock will continue to run off that. Elliott's showing some strong running and up the middle too, which is normally a problem in this game.
We see the defense has a nickel package. Another run. Again, this time just forward progress, a couple feet, giving them the benefit of the doubt, giving that 1 extra yard. So 2nd and 9. Pro formation by the wide receivers out there. JB Elliott all alone in the backfield. Bear hands off to him. Run up the middle for just another 2 yards or so. Again, they're doing their game plan right now is just to get this ball game to end as quick as possible. Being up by 6. But again, being up by 6 is dangerous if you have an errant pass, that could set up, at least in this spot right here. If there's a pick 6, you'd be losing with the point after by 1.
Yeah. And now we're running under 4 minutes, 3rd and 7 on the 45.
We've got a split spread gun package there. Handoff to JB Elliott, able to just get back up to the line of scrimmage, pretty much calling a 4th and 7, but that clock is still ticking.
Yeah, it looks like the Rattlesnakes will get the ball with under 3 minutes left to play.
Break.
We'll see if they will decide to hold off long snapping until that play clock reaches the 3 or 2. So we got about 10 seconds to twiddle our thumbs. Smart playing by the Grizzlies here. The punt is away. Custer again to receive it. Grabs it, makes his way up. Decent gain, 7 yards or so. And that, on the 24-yard line, is where the Rattlesnakes will be taking over. Let's see if they can get this ball down the field. They have 2 minutes and 50 seconds to do so. Both teams with their complement of 3 timeouts each. Gun straight package there. Slider back, making a little change on the line. Back to pass. It is deflected by number 57 out there, Chad McDevitt.
And we've been saying his name a lot today. Good hands on this guy.
Good eyes too to see that thing coming. Keeping his head on a swivel as they say. You see a single back, I think double look here. Slider back, drops back far, pass off to the right, pulled in just in time before stepping out of bounds. Number 11, Tullish on the reception, but only getting 4 yards, making it at least the third a little bit more manageable, but 6 yards is still 6 yards. You know, it'd be great if it was more like 4 or 3, but we'll see if they've got something in their playbook to get them to that first.
3rd and 6, and there's not a whole lot of time left. We really got to make use of all this time they have. So hopefully they can get to their first down marker.
Empty backfield, that means 5 receivers out there. It is caught, but still 2 yards to go to the first. That's Brian Murphy on the reception, tight end for the Rattlesnakes. We'll see if they decide to go for it here. I think that's a must-do right now. Looks like that's what they're going to do. Another gun spread split formation there. Pass off to the right, complete. Spin move by number 85.
They're hurrying, but I think this will take it to a 2-minute warning. I don't know if they can get another snap off.
Nope,
and they don't.
You're right. So we'll see what they have planned, what they can do in these last 2 minutes. This could really be, do they have the ability to get it down? They need a touchdown. They can't settle for a field goal here. They need to go, 56 yards to get to that pay dirt at the end. Slider making the changes on the line, seeing something in the defense he liked or didn't like. Back to pass over the middle. Little 4-yard gain. Hurry up there. So that's the tight end again, Brian Murphy on that reception. 3 receivers, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. I'm sorry, the opposite way. But anyways, received there by Lottie Lou. 3rd and 1 here. We'll see what they choose to do. Over the middle, reception again. Someone's liking that soft hands. Let's see if they've got what.
We're moving, but the clock is still ticking, so they gotta get some more yards here.
Yeah, let's see on this 1st and 10 if they've got a play in this formation that could get further than the 3 yards, 4 yards. Ooh, almost a sack taken down by number 94.
Yeah, lucky to get the ball out. And let's just talk about this. This is our 2nd game doing this, and both games have gone down to the wire. Ain't this great?
This is fun. I mean, it's a blast. We see 4 wide receivers out there, 1 tight end, empty backfield for Slider. No help back there for blocking. Throws it over the middle. It is caught. Wow, number 11. That is Tullish for his first touchdown of the game.
You came to play today.
Wow. You're hearing the crowd, the home crowd here at the practice field of the Grizzlies, just out of reach of number 19, who's covering Tullish, not able to reach out and make a play, but instead it's Tullish making that play. So with this point, after, if it isn't blocked, we'll put Lincoln ahead with 1 minute and 7 seconds left in the final quarter. This is exciting, folks. Wow.
Yeah. And, the Rattlesnakes, they striked when they needed to, right? Lethal attack right there.
They left a lot of venom in the Grizzlies. Let's see how lethargic the Grizzlies are after this, or if they're pumped up and ready to sling that ball.
Now, they only need a field goal. They got 3 timeouts. Minute 7 still on the clock, so they'll probably have close to a minute. It's doable. Let's see if the Rattlesnakes left enough time, or they unfortunately left enough time for Tacoma to do something.
Right after the half, too, we did see a return that went around, 60, 70 yards.
We don't talk about that here. That never happened.
So we'll see what happens here. brings it out to about the 30, and that's where they're going to start what could be their final drive for the Grizzlies. Do you risk it? Do you go far? Do you go deep yet? Or do you just go, I want to pluck away 10 yards at a time?
I want to get a good 15-yard gain right off the bat, and then I could progress and figure out what to do from here. The running game's out. We're not running anymore, so
we see
send them, get a good 15-yard gain, so you can actually set the tone.
3 wide receivers at the top and a gun straight package. Dropped by number 47. That's Christopher Dean. That might actually not have been a bad thing. If he had completed it there in the middle, that would have been burning the timeout or running with the hurry up. At least that stopped the clock and didn't take more than, 5 seconds off the clock. Again, we see 4 wide receivers out there, 1 tight end, empty backfield for Bear Cuthbert. Short drop back, pass over the middle, intercepted by the Rattlesnakes, and tackled at the Tacoma 30. What do you do here? I don't know if, blah. Wow, I am speechless.
24 Luke Swift, the second strong safety, coming in and making the play. So the game is not quite over yet.
Still plenty of timeouts left, and if the defense, we've seen on both sides sacks happen that push them further back. If they get past beyond, if they lose 3 yards or more, they're outside of the field goal range.
Yeah, they got 3 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock 3 times. So any first down pretty much ended at this point.
Logan Lee there for a gain of 1. And the timeout called by Tacoma to keep the clock frozen as much as they can. Congrats, Lucid Dreams 702. I assume that's you, Luke Swift. Great job. Very clutch. We see very strong package running off to the weak side. It's Logan Lee. Stopped 1 yard short of that first down.
Crucial 3rd and 1. First down ends the game. Otherwise, there is still a small hope for the Grizzlies.
I formation, 1 wide receiver at the top. 4-3 package by the defense. He gets that first and 6 more as well for a total of 7 yards, I believe, on that play.
Yeah, and Tacoma used their final timeout. They can't stop the clock anymore. Lincoln should be able to kneel down, and that will be a ball game.
Let's see. It's never, as much as probability states what you're saying is true, until it says 3 zeros, I hate to call a game yet. So we'll see. They're in what people have said is the best formation in football is the victory formation there. Slider taking that knee. Loss of 2 on that play, but they'll take that loss of 2 as the timer counts down. It looks like the timer will end before this next play will get off officially by milliseconds. We'll see if they just simply try to do one more play to let it, one more kneel.
Yeah, and I think I heard in the chat that the Rattlesnakes were a second-half team, and they did prove that tonight at the very least.
And to answer the question there, the difficulty is set at Legends difficulty with whatever the basic settings are. Emulating what they use in the Pro League as well. So yeah, the SFLm is no different in difficulty than the Pro League. So what you get here is what you get over there. So with that is the end of what was a excellent competitive game. Man, let's look at some of these stats. All right, so we see Lincoln had the one out with total yards. Grizzlies with a little bit of the edge with time of possession and turnovers, but really if you need to come and play, it's in that fourth quarter that they really nailed it home. Lincoln did.
Yeah, it looked pretty even. The only thing that was different was the turnover, and Logan Lee had a better outing on the run game. But you can't say nothing about JB Elliott. He played pretty well too.
agreed. And both quarterbacks really came out. I was seeing some chat in the Discord SFLm general chat about who liked which quarterback here or there based on their ratings and things. And as much as ratings are useful, sometimes the game plan and what gets played out on the game out on the field can trump some of that just a little bit or overshadow some things like that as well. So I'm really impressed with both teams. Every single person on either team. Some of the standouts for me, obviously, T to Queen. Even though they're taking the L here, she had a breakout first game out here in the preseason. Similarly, like you said, Logan Lee, equally on the other side, had a breakout game for me.
Yeah,
I have to say,
I,
if I had to make a guess for player of the game tonight, Logan Lee would be my preference.
Logan Lee did do a lot to keep him in the game. I think they might give it to the quarterback. Quarterback played pretty well. I just want to put out another name on the defensive side that played really well. We're gonna do with the Grizzlies. Chad McDevitt. You heard his name all the time this game, so he
Absolutely.
had a breakout game.
Here we go. Kenny Slider, yep, quarterback, 184 yards, 3 touchdowns, 116 quarterback rating. It doesn't get any better than that. Looks like 24 out of 33. I'm doing the math in my head. I want to say that's around like 67, 70%, which is really great. So I'm really excited. This is just a little taste. Obviously, during the regular season, there is we'll go back to the broadcast booth here. During the regular season, there's more professional. I'm not a professional broadcaster. We're just out here having fun. Daniel, similarly, we're out here having a little bit of fun with you all. We're both part of you see here Minor F&I, which is short for Minor League Fights and Insights. It's just a place we do a weekly show. It'll be starting up. The 23rd we'll be premiering for this next season 5. It'll be our second season doing the show weekly Wednesday nights, same place, same time as you are tonight. Talking everything SFLm. Our first show, we're going to be having the deputy commissioner of the SFL coming on. We're going to be talking and going through all the different attributes that the players have, and what is it? How they play out on the field, what it means for a quarterback to have a high speed, or when should you progress the speed for a quarterback versus your pocket composure or things, or running back. Is it about agility? Is it about speed? Break tackle? What is different things from his experience? He's been in the league for a long time. As part of being part of the league itself, he has a lot of testing experience to help set the different settings that they currently use, and all that. So super expert level insight that we'll be getting from him. We did a similar thing last season. Sadly, the recordings for those first 2 episodes, which is exactly what we talked about last season, went missing. Twitch just deleted them, didn't keep a hold of them before I was able to download them. So we're bringing it back. So we're going to be there. Join us. We'll have the chat going. If we have questions, we can answer them in real time for you. We'll also be bringing on, hopefully around 2, and this is sort of a weekly recurrence that we do, try to bring on 1, 2, or 3 of the SFLM players to just have a little chat via audio, just like this. You'll hop in, you will ask you some questions about who you are. What has your experience been like? What are you hopeful for the season? What do you hope for? What do you look for in a team if you were to be picked up by a team in the next draft? That's coming up, would be in the end of June, that kind of thing. And then we also might be looking ahead to the different teams. We've got 8 teams. Let's take a look at their rosters. Let's see which one seems really strong on defense, which one seems really strong on offense, and start speculating way too early, weeks before the regular season even kicks off. But it's just meant to be a fun time. Catch us here again, same bat channel, same bat time, for roughly an hour stream show Wednesday nights. So Daniel, anything you want to mention?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna piggyback on you a little bit. So last season we did interviews, and like owners will come in, they'll watch us talk and do interviews with the players, and that's how you get drafted. Like your player can be great on the field, but it's who you are as a person that really latches owners into picking you in the draft. and the draft experience is a great experience. So I hope to see you guys here. Hope to see you talking in chat, and I hope you have a good season. We still got a few more preseason games to go first, though.
Absolutely. And yeah, you had mentioned earlier, Daniel, the idea of that there's places out there for people that are hungry, are interested in learning more and trying to do some of this stuff. Like I said, I'm not a professional broadcaster. I've never streamed before. Before mid-September of last year when we started doing this show, learned a lot of it. If you're interested in being part of our little crew or coming on to talk about a little segment on a future show, we'd love to have you. Daniel, if you want to put in the chat, if you do the exclamation point Discord, that's a link to our special Minor F&I server, Discord server as well. We can have special chat there. You can talk with us, with your fellow players, SFLm players, last season's FLM players, the pros that are there interested in the SFLM. We've got some GMs and owners like Daniel alluded to, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I hope you had a lot of fun. I always enjoy my nights with you, Daniel, hanging out, watching some football.
This was a blast. 2 games now, decided by a total of 3 points. You can't get much better than that.
Absolutely not. It comes down right to the wire, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm just excited for the season proper to start soon. So, all right. Well, with that, any absolute final words from you, Daniel?
Everyone have a good night. Watch the pros this weekend. Get familiar with the teams and the ownership, and just when time comes, show them who you are. That's the main thing I want to say today. Is show them who you are, because that is what's going to get you in the pro league.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, Daniel. Thanks for the advice. Always great sage advice from you, and you'll find more of that in Discord as well. So with that, I bid you adieu. Good night, everyone.